Amazing news and price action today as we receive a catalyst in the form of Mark Basile saying that he will be representing a new client. That client is Astra Energy. Welcome back to the channel on this Taco Tuesday. This is Arca, and let's dive into ticker symbol ASRE. Let's kill him, team. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive in to ticker symbol ASRE. And yes, you definitely heard it right, team. Take a look to the right of your screen right here and notice that Mark Basile actually just posted today. We welcome our new client, Astra Energy Inc., as we investigate possible claims against dilution funders. Okay, so this is absolutely something that the crowd liked, right? Lots of reposts, lots of likes. Lots of sentiment behind what just happened, and please go ahead and feast your eyes on this massive hourly candle here, right? So it literally ran a 12.5% in 1 hourly candle here, and please notice there is no shadow, there's no wick down below, and there's no wick above. That means that this candle has not returned anything from what it has gained, right? And it closed at 38.10. Very impressive high right here, team. So let's go ahead and now take a look at actually, you know what, we ended up getting the bottom side supports that we were looking for, slightly below, of course, right? But still respecting the bottom sides that we were looking at just yesterday, right? So let's look at the next chart here and see what we have going for us, right? So yeah, I can see that we already had a discretionary resistance right in the area of about 38.50 to 38.49 to 38.65, but that's not really the resistance that I'm looking for here. The true resistance that I'm looking for is actually located at 42.59. Seeing that now we have three. Actually, I think today was the third 3-day close, right? So we're gonna go ahead and validate this tomorrow, right? Because I didn't see the timer here, but I didn't follow up on this one. So I think we have three-day closes above the mean here on the volatility bands, which means that this is potentially making its way up to find its resistance at around 42.59. So let's see if that could be a possibility here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make this a range, because it is one, right? So it would be at the top side of these wicks right over here, which would be very much rhyming with the top side of the volatility band. So 43.07 to the top end of this wick here, right, which would be 41.87, right? So this is looking like it could be the resistance level, guys. If you hear the little man's voice right back here, he's just sitting next to me, right? He's watching his show, interacting right here, making sure that we're trading the right way, right? So, all right. So anyway, let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here, team, and see what else we have. So yeah, just to give you that massive perspective here, right, team? We were speaking about the bottom side. Actually, now I do remember, right? I do remember talking about the 31.66 bottom. We ended up getting a low of 31.80, pretty close to our target, even though, and we spoke about this being the particular setup of having to retest the top side of this regression from the descending channel, right? So that looks to be at play. And another thing to be at play, or it looks like to be at play, is actually the inverse head and shoulders here, right? So it doesn't appear to be invalidated just yet, but you can see here the left-hand shoulder, bottom head, right-hand shoulder, and of course the regression line right over here, the neckline, right? So let's just go ahead and draw it in a little better, so that we are kind of aware where this, where the support, or sorry, where the neckline is actually located, right? So it could be right about there. And let's apply this trend line here all the way to the bottom side of the price action, so that it can display to us the top side target, right? So we apply it to the middle of the right-hand shoulder, and that appears right over here. It has a target of around 54.24. And geometrically speaking, I bet it does rhyme with something nice there. So let's just go ahead and take an overall range high to range low, right? So from the right shoulder, and man, actually, I'm sorry, actually all the way to the bottom side of the head, right down here. So total upside, total downside, and it looks like it's rhyming very nicely here with the top end, right? So that's suggesting at the one spot 618 golden mean 53.24, and we have 54.24, exactly 1 cent away, right? So that is the focus zone right now, and it's looking like it could be promising, right? So now let's go ahead and move on to the next chart and see what other edge we can gain from this, right? Because I imagine that we're already combating some topside targets that we've been observing or wanting for quite some time, right? In particular to this. So we have finally met yet again the center of the triangle, right? The center of the triangle would be the taking a trend line here from the top side of the triangle to the bottom side, and you apply it to the point of breakout. The point of breakout was right here, right? Based on the first candle closure. Actually, I'm sorry, it was right over here. Based on the first candle closure that we had without exposure to the inside of the channel or the wedge, right? So that this was the first candle here, the one on the 4-hour candle on Monday, October 30th. Okay, so the middle of the middle of the triangle was suggesting a top side of 37.54, which is closed at 38.10. And the next target to look at here would be at around 46.69. Okay, so that 46.69 is rhyming pretty nicely with, did we just say a target that was similar to that? Yeah, pretty nicely here with a one spot 618 at 47.10, right? From a different perspective, right? This is a target that we've been observing here for quite some time, 47.10 to about 50.44, right? So now we can see that we can definitely respect the 46.69, but remember that the overall range that I was looking at was 45.41 to 47.26. And yeah, that's looking pretty damn powerful, right? So the take profit 49.50 for the rectangle. I'm sorry, for the descending channel, right? That is, let's see, yeah, that is this right over here. You take a trend line from the top of the channel to the very bottom of the channel, apply it to the area where we broke out of, which is the first candle here, and that is suggesting 49.50. So 46 to 50 cents is rhyming a hell of a lot right now, right? So, or at least 45 to 50 cents. It's rhyming a lot. So now let's go ahead and move on and see if we have anything that could suggest a continuation to the upside. Right, so let's start. I want to look at volatility versus momentum here, and I would like to point out this actually, that in momentum you definitely have inverse head and shoulders, and that actually does work on momentum indicators as well. So this has an upside pivot entering the overbought percentile with plenty of upside still to go, historically speaking. Right, this is around 100% top here, and we're sitting presently at, let's see, at about 86, 87%. So, and we're just now starting the expansion phase, right? So now this is about an 80% signal complete for an upside. So that's looking pretty good. So now let me just go ahead and display to you the upper bound targets, and that could be set to, let's see. Let me draw it in. Actually, I'm gonna give you the daily time frame is expanding. We still have let's just make sure that this is pivoted straight to the upside. I'm gonna do the input. We're gonna manipulate the look back to a 1 day with a 1 with a factor of 1 on the smoothing, right? So yeah, it's still pivoted towards the upside, so it's looking good. And the it's getting close right here with the ADX. We're at 20%. It could still be stronger. Let me see the 4-hour time frame. Okay, the 4-hour time frame is starting to correct right now. This is about to pivot, and we're about to expand. We're facing a little bit of resistance, but on the RSI. But I want you to notice how we're manipulating the curvature of the SMA 14. Right, that's looking pretty good. And so now let me see the hourly time frame. Hourly time frame is already pivoted towards the upside. Oh, I see what's going on. There we go. Okay. So now that this makes a lot of sense now. Okay, we have upside pivots on literally everything right now. So hourly time for 30-minute time frame in the bullish control zone with massive expansion happening. This is cascading into the hourly time frame with expansion and an upside pivot as well on stochastics. That is also bleeding onto the bi-hourly time frame. right? We're getting a crossover, bullish crossover here. And expansion is currently starting there too. The 3-hour time frame is now starting to expand past the critical volatility zone of the 15% and starting an upside pivot here too. Bullish crossover with upside pivots on everything. And now the 4-hour time frame is starting to curve. So the minimum time frame I want is the 4-hour to show upside. So let me actually finesse that information there. So let me see the D percent at a 1-day look back with a smoothing factor of 1. And yeah, we're already getting an upside as the fast read here. Okay, so I expect the 4-hour time frame to start showing upside here. So starting from the immediate short-term time frame, guys, there is a potential very, very, very short-term pullback. I imagine that it could be down to around 36, and I'll give you a range too. So I'm thinking that it could be around 36.90 to about 36.51, and I mean that as probably best case. I'm going to give you one more. Okay, one more. That's going to be at about 35.99 to about, let's see, here it goes, 35.52. Those could be the two potential supports before we actually continue on to the upside, team. And yeah, the RSI is literally just everything is pivoted towards the upside right now. And now looking at the 3-day time frame, we wanted to look at this as soon as the shorter time frames really figured out what they wanted to do. But take a look at the RSI signal here in the gravitational zone. That's pretty good, right? So the only dangers I see here is the fact that we're at resistance on both the 4-hour and the 8-hour. But I will like to point out that we are not in the gravitational zone for a pullback. This is actually at resistance with pressure on the moving average. And same situation here with the 8-hour time frame. It is outside of the gravitational zone. So I guess if there is any type of danger here, it would be in the 12-hour and the daily. So that means that this actually has a shot. This definitely has a shot for an upside move here. And I can see that the minimum upside move could be located at about, at about 41. Yeah, so 41.45. I see the range. Hold on. So 41.45. Hey, buddy. To about 42.84. So that could be the first area of a temporary resistance before we come back and start validating the 38.38 into a support before a continuation, meaning that we have upside tomorrow, pullback by the end of the day, and then continuation to the upside on the following trading session. So yeah, guys, this is inching towards actually completing its topside target of around 46.84 here from the triangle top. So yeah, this is looking pretty massive, team. I'm very excited over this, and I do think that the shareholders may actually be. I know that there's going to be some. I know that there's going to be. There's always going to be foul play, right? So just watch out. Keep your eyes on your risk, and always make sure to not give back what you've already gained from the markets. Okay, team. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Never, forever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well. Very, very good rest of your night. And I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.